What if every client call automatically turned into action? In this episode of Lead with AI, I sit down with the Daniel Yoo, founder and CEO of FinMate AI, an AI-powered platform transforming how financial advisors serve their clients. FinMate AI listens to your client calls, pulls out all the key action items, drafts the summary, and even sends the follow-up email automatically. It's like having a junior advisor who never sleeps, never forgets, and never misses a beat. If you're in finance or just tired of losing opportunities in the follow-up, this episode will change how you think about client service forever. Let's get into it. Welcome to Lead with AI. I'm Dr. Tamara Nall. In each episode, we will take you behind the scenes with visionary leaders shaping the future of AI across public and private sectors. Join us as we explore groundbreaking projects and innovations that are transforming industries and making a real impact on people's lives. Let's dive in. So hi, everyone. How are you? It's your host, Dr. T, with the Lead with AI podcast. And I'm so excited to have Daniel Yoo, who is the founder and CEO of FinMate AI. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Hey, doing well.
Awesome. Welcome to the show. I'm really excited to hear about FinMate.
Glad to be here and share what we're working on.
Awesome. So let's get started with you as the founder. Talk to us a little bit about who you are at your core and how you started FinMate and what problem existed that you knew you could solve with your technology.
Great question. So my background is I'm not a technologist. I am a financial advisor at my core. I started my career in financial services as a financial advisor, then eventually worked for TD Ameritrade as a senior advisor for them, managed about 800 mil of client assets, over 300 clients, and did that until the Schwab takeover ended up happening. So that's my background, that's my industry, that's what I know, and that's all I've ever really worked in. And so, I realized that operating as a financial advisor in a high volume environment, there's a lot of regulatory, operational, back office work that I had to be in charge of and complete properly, namely note-taking. And so I realized that this was a pretty low-hanging fruit that I could probably solve for a lot of advisors. And so that's where we got going is let's just solve that pain point and see what else we can do for them.
Amazing. I love that, you were in the heart of it. You could see the pain points, you could see the aches, and therefore came up with a solution with it. Like I love when companies are founded based on those.
Yep, that's our background, and that's why we haven't really touched any other vertical because this is the industry we know.
Yep, no, that's amazing. So talk to us about the holy smokes moment. Tell us a time where a customer used FinMate AI and it just changed everything for them. They were literally blown out of this world. Take us there.
Yeah, so this, let's go back to maybe May of 2023. This was when GPT, or OpenAI had their GPT 2.0. They're just rolling into their next version. This is back to when it was called like Da Vinci. I had called up one of my old coworkers at TD Ameritrade and said, hey, I have this wild idea. AI note takers in general already exists, but it's not really fit for our marketplace. Can you test this out? And back then, we had the AI specifically for discovery meetings for clients, where the advisor was getting all this information about a prospective client's financial background so that they can prepare out a financial plan for them in the subsequent meetings. Obviously, none of this existed back then. We were the only players. And so when I first showed my advisor friend the prototype, that was a mind-blowing experience for him at the time. Because again, nothing like this existed.
Wow, that's amazing. And you did mention, you said that, at the time there were no other key players and that there are other note-taking companies out there. What sets FinMate apart?
Yeah, great question. So back in those early days where we're the only AI note taker for advisors, it was that, yes, we were for advisors. We were incorporating into the advisor tech system and tech stack. But also in terms of the notes that we were outputting, it was fit for that marketplace. Now, 2 years since, I'm sure as all of your folks working in AI know, it's very easy to copy certain AI products. And so there's about 20 of these things now in the marketplace. And so how we stand apart now is in two things. Number one, the user experience. We are considered one of the easiest platforms to get on and use. My industry is not really known for its tech savviness among our operators. And so we want to make it as simple and straightforward as possible to use, as well as having very good customer service and responsiveness, right? And then secondly, in terms of the data management, we're the only company to proactively delete everything. Again, we don't want to be considered books and records and be liable for audits. But also, my belief is that if any AI company is keeping your data by default, they're eventually going to use it for something else down the road.
Got it. Love that. So those two things are your key differentiators. Now, my guests are very nosy people. We're like very nosy, very curious. Talk to us about FinMate AI and like, how does it work? What's going through its brain? If we open up the hood, what's there?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to pretend this is some amazing technology at this point. It was kind of mind-blowing 2 years ago, but at the speed that AI grows, it's a pretty simple to understand, easy to use tool, right?
Great.
So what it is you get audio files or snippets of audio files. It goes through a transcription AI and a diarization AI. So it gets you a text version of that audio clip along with who the speakers are. Cool. And then it gets passed to another AI where we have certain templates that we apply against that transcript to get it into the final notes system that people are looking for, as well as generating follow-up tasks, and then connecting that to CRMs and other financial planning softwares to get that data through. Again, it's not rocket science, but the key is in how usable is it for the end user.
Right. And that is the key right there. So tell us, so we have listeners, who are your ideal customers? If I'm listening, how do I know, you know what, I need to go and sign up for FinMate and try it out right now?
Yeah, so it's just all the people that were doing what I used to do, financial advisors, insurance agents, folks that help people with their financials are the key demographic for us.
Got it. And is there a particular size, or you can be kind of like a solo entrepreneur or a solo person that is providing, financial advisory services?
Yeah, so everywhere from very small to kind of brand names that we're talking to that everyone would recognize.
Okay, awesome. Okay, great. I always like to kind of like set the stage for people so that they know to definitely reach out. Now, you gave us an example of your reaching out to one of your prior colleagues and friends in the industry and how he was wowed by it.
Yeah.
Take us to a place where you were wowed by FinMate AI. Like, what was that real world magic where you're like, oh my gosh, I used to sit in this seat and these were my issues, but now I have created something that is blowing my mind. Take us there. And if you had a victory dance or some little shout or that's good too. But just take us there. We want to just be there with you.
Sure. So, I mean, before I called my friend and asked him to try it out, I actually tried it out myself and, ran a test meeting internally. So I put on my old financial advisor hat, sat one of my coworkers or co-founders down and said, all right, let's run through a financial advisory meeting. You're the client, I'm the advisor. Let's do it. We extracted out that meeting. We ran it through our system. And I was like, great, this would have been so much helpful when I was back in the seat as an advisor. It would have saved me so much time. It would have saved my manager so much heartache because my notes are pretty bad if I had to handwrite them. And so that was the moment where I said, I think we have something.
Awesome. That's amazing. And you talked about this before. You were saying that, FinMate AI deletes all of the data. So obviously you're thinking about privacy and as related to the data. Talk to us about ethics and how do you manage these ethical decision points that you need to make, knowing that at the end of all this, so many humans are being impacted, not only the advisor, but his or her customers, etc. How do you view ethics?
Yeah, that's kind of the gray area in all of this, right? Especially for AI. How I've approached it is as a financial advisor would in general. Advisory business is a very personal business where you get to know your clients very personally. You're dealing with their money that they've saved painstakingly over the years. And so you need to build that trust and relationship, right? And so the key to good financial advising is that the financial advisor should be working in your best interest, right? We call that fiduciary, we call that, responsibility. And so I wanted to approach this from a similar mindset where we're building FinMate for the benefit of the advisors. We're not building this necessarily for the benefit of us purely, right? And so I think in that mindset, if we want to maximize what we're doing, we would scrape all your data, combine it, collect it, maybe even try to sell it down the road or use it to train our AI. But we want to be focused primarily on our actual clients and not using our clients to purchase another or get to another client down the road, right? And that's where we landed on. We want to get rid of everything. We don't want to take our clients' data into our system and use it for some other purposes, right? So we wanted to maintain a clean level of separation and really be a nice, simple, easy to use tool that helps advisors in their day-to-day lives.
Got it. Okay. That is amazing. You're like thinking about that. And I mean, obviously you said that 2 years ago, you're the only one. There are probably 20 of you in the market now. What does the future look like for FinMate AI? Like when you had to fast forward, and the world is, the financial services world, advisement world is totally powered by FinMate AI. What does that look like?
Yeah. So like I was mentioning before, I think AI develops very, very quickly.
Yes.
And so note-taking is kind of becoming commoditized, not going to lie, right? It's become something where people are able to create these things fairly easily, like I mentioned before. What's under the hood is not that crazy. It's not rocket science. It's a very simple concept. You take audio, you turn it into text, and you layer some additional processing on top of it, and then you get it to the right systems. It's a closed loop. It does what it does. Great. So then the question is, what next? Well, there's a lot of new AI capabilities that are coming online nowadays, thanks to folks that are on the more ground level of developing this new technology. And so it's on people like us to then take that new technology and again, make it applicable and easy to use for our end users. And so what we're exploring right now is some custom builds for some of our existing clients.
Okay.
The buzzwords on the street are, RAG and agentics. And so, we are trying to make AI solutions that helps with the operational processing of our clients, advisory firms, and practices, and highly customizing it because we're realizing two things. Number one, advisory firms operate very differently from one another, even though their core business is pretty much the same, right? The broad chunks are the same, but how it gets done is very different, right? And so we had a choice to make. Do we make another platform like FinMate AI, where we have everyone kind of come in and customize everything on their own? Or do we do this custom installation for people? And I think we're going in the custom installation AI consultancy route because the questions that people are now asking me is, hey, Daniel, we know you know the industry. We know you know AI. The people that know AI tend to not know the industry. And people that know the industry tend not to know AI.
Right.
You're one of the few that knows both.
Exactly.
Can you tell us what to do?
Yeah.
Right. Because a lot of technology folks are coming in and, pitching their wares. But oftentimes, there's now thousands of these tools out there, not only in the note-taking space, but in all different verticals of the industry. And frankly, for a lot of advisors, it's just getting to be a little too much. So it's like, hey, Daniel, what do we do?
Right.
And so I think that's the direction we'll be moving in, is with our expertise in both the industry, financial services, as well as the AI. I think we can help create some operational efficiencies, custom AIs for our clients. And that's where we're moving.
Well, that's amazing. And you find that in the life cycle often of a products company, right? Either they're going to have kind of like certified consultancies that can help, or they do it themselves to kind of add that value to their customers.
Right.
So two comments I were going to make. One, going back to something that was earlier around note-taking. So it's not for financial advisors, but, I've tried out different note-taking technologies. And there's one where I am amazed because I was on a call one time and there were probably about 15 people on there. And, sometimes when you have calls, there's the gossip at the beginning. So there was gossip, and it was my note taker on there because for some reason the host did not remove it. And I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my goodness, this note taker tells you who's talking and all of that. And I didn't say anything. And when it was sent out afterwards, there was no gossip. They just kept it to business. So I was really appreciative of that. And then I was thinking in terms of you kind of with FinMate AI and thinking about the evolution of the company. And maybe it already does this, but something, at least when I think about working with my financial advisor, that's helpful is for that person to really listen and to read between the lines. And in this case, if, with FinMate AI having emotional intelligence, meaning, oh, wait, ding, 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 Dr. T said this could be an opportunity. For instance, if I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I do, with taxes and being strategic? And are there other things that I can invest in and all of that? You say it, but sometimes they don't really listen. And so to the point that when the notes, it says, hey, key areas that you might want to consider, that would be really, really important because honestly, I'm at a point where I am really like, if this firm or if this person is not giving me ways to like help me as I move into this new phase of my life, and I not directly tell them because I don't know everything. Like I don't know, for instance, like forming a donor advised fund or all of that kind of stuff. I am really depending on my advisor to tell me that. And to the extent that this FinMate, MATE, can like help with the EQ of it all. I really, really think that's a gap, at least from what I experience with some advisors that I've worked with. So
yeah, there's two comments to address that. Number one, again, if they're focused on making sure they write down everything, they're going to be distracted. So hopefully just having a note taker in general will help with that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep. And then secondarily, we do have a sentiment analysis section on our analytics page that tracks mood over time. And so we have that tool where our advisors can go review, see the negative spikes, and then go jump to that part of the call, see what the negativity was about, see if it's a concern they can address. And so there's two ways you can handle it using FinMate AI note-taking.
Okay, Daniel, you should have mentioned that earlier. The sentiment evaluator is huge.
Yep.
It's really, really huge. And like you said, it's taking away, if I'm not taking, these notes, then I can focus on what my customers, my partners, my clients are saying. And then I love that sentiment dashboard, if you will, to show the trends, because then you can see, oh, that didn't go so well. Let me see if I can turn that around or not bring that up. And, oh, this got a spike. So I'm going to need you to say that earlier, Daniel.
Well, there's a lot to talk about. So, we'll get to it. And yeah, I mean, not every negative sentiment is a bad thing, right? Maybe there are legitimate concerns about your financial picture, and it should be negative, and it should be caught, and your advisor is there to help you through it. And so, I don't think necessarily all negativity is bad. But it's a point where the advisor can really flex their muscles and show, why you're paying them.
Right. No, absolutely. Now, so what else? So you brought that up. And so what else? You said there's a lot to tell. Tell us some more goodies that we need to know about FinMate AI.
Yeah, I mean, so part of it is also in that user experience, right? Getting that data to your core systems. Again, we're not trying to come in and replace everything for you, whether on the note taker or where we're going. It's, we know how you operate your business. We know you're comfortable with it. We don't want to necessarily change everything about it, right? It's just, let's just layer some things on top that can smooth over some of the transitions and the rough patches in your operational workflow. And that's where we think we shine. It's just helping you optimize what you're already doing.
Right. Okay. Absolutely wonderful. Now, for my listeners that are like, oh, okay, Daniel, yeah, blah, 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 blah. We want to believe. So what's something that, a financial advisor who's listening now can do, this week to try, build, or explore FinMate AI?
I mean, easiest thing, we have a free trial for the note-taking side. So you can sign up and try us out. You get 10 hours of meeting reporting time to give it a shot. If you're interested in more of that consultancy, hey, Daniel, help me figure out AI holistically. You can sign up on our website to book a call with me, and we can go through what your what you're thinking through, and we can help you shape how you're thinking about AI in general. And lastly, to make you believe, I mean, there's nothing better than just waiting 6 months and, whatever is in the dream world now, it comes to reality. And so yeah, give it 6 months and everything will be very different than where we're currently at.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And the website, give everybody the website.
Website is www.finmate.ai. That's FINMATE.ai.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to tell them, don't wait 6 months. Go there now, FinMate.ai, and try it out. There's a free trial. You have nothing to lose. You can only get better from there. So everybody knows, and they look forward to this portion of our discussion where we say from one genius to another. And Daniel, do I have a question for you from our last guest? And that question is, how long before AI kills us all off?
Very good question. Let's do 6 months. I'm kidding. I'm fairly optimistic in terms of humanity, and I'm fairly pessimistic when it comes to tech. Okay. This might be kind of strange to hear coming from me after this whole podcast has gone its course, but I'm a bit of a Luddite, I'm not that big of a believer in tech overall. Again, I'm an advisor. I'm not a tech guy. And the easiest thing to do is, hey, listen, I mean, one of the biggest pieces of technology in our lives? Let's just say, for example, it's cars, right? Mm-hmm. Cars are very complicated technical animals. Mm-hmm. When's the last time you ran across a car that you're like, yes, this will last me 10 plus years for sure?
Okay.
It doesn't. Tech is very complicated, but it's also very fragile, right? Mm-hmm. So the more power technology has, the more fragile and complicated and easier to break down it does. And so in order to kill all of us, it needs to be very, very meticulous. I think humans are very resilient, and kind of like cockroaches, there's going to be corners that survive, right? Mm-hmm. And so, there might be some catastrophic events here and there isolated, but I don't believe that tech is that robust to be able to kill all of us. Yeah. So no, I don't think we're ever going to all die because of AI. We might all die because of something else,
Something else, but definitely not.
But no, technology is very fragile. Things break, things don't go wrong. And coming from someone that's trying to build a system that works consistently, right? For an AI to be consistently driving towards human extinction, I think will be very, very hard to develop. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I love it. He's not great. He thought he was going to get you with that question. He didn't.
I'm sure he did think that. I'm sure he thought it would be a very fun thing to ask. So
he kind of laughed when he gave it to me. So.
Yeah. I'm sure he doesn't think we're all going to die either, because if he did, I'm sure he'd be investing in bunkers right
now. Right. Exactly. All right. So now it's time for our bonus rapid fire. I'm going to ask you 4 questions quickly, and you're going to give me the first response that comes to your mind.
Yep. Okay.
Number 1, most overrated tech trend.
Most overrated tech trend is AI.
Okay. You're actually not the first to say that, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, AI is all the noise these days.
Again, the key is in usability. AI is great; it can do a lot of things, but a lot of times it's just overblown hype fluff, right? A lot of these AI companies getting funded with millions of dollars, and then you try the tech, it doesn't really work, right? And so ultimately, it's bridging the gap between the theory and actual practicality. And that's where the real value is. If you asked me this question 2-3 years ago, I would have said Web3 or blockchain. Mm-hmm. It kind of feels the same way where everyone's talking about it. And, some of the people that are talking about AI are like, you're not very technical. I don't think you know what you're talking about. And yet everyone and their aunts are talking about it. And that's kind of how things are overhyped, is when too many people are talking about it.
All right. Got it. I dig it. AI. Most underhyped AI breakthrough.
Underhyped AI breakthrough. Mm-hmm. I think the real magic of AI is in operational efficiency processes. Okay. Right? It's not hyped because most people don't think about it. It's not something that's like shiny or cool. It's just very simple things. Like when we think about our current tech stack, everything is very disparate, separated, and it doesn't really talk to each other well. I think AI represents a very nice opportunity for disparate systems to be connected together. And so who knows, maybe it'll be hyped in about by the time this comes out. But at least for now, I think it's an underhyped part of AI.
Okay. One book everyone should read in general on AI, the future. Just give us a book.
Let me think about that for a few minutes here.
I
can't remember the title exactly, but I do recommend Benjamin Graham's Fundamentals of Investing. I forget what the exact title is.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, coming from the advisory space, that's generally something that everyone should read.
Okay, add it to your library, folks. And then lastly, what's the boldest, biggest, scariest AI prediction you have?
Oh, the boldest, scariest AI prediction I have is when students are coming up in our school systems, they're going to be over-reliant on AI. They're going to graduate and can't think for themselves.
Okay. Yeah, that is pretty scary.
But... yeah, we're starting to see that right now, too. I have a number of professor friends and teacher friends, and the scariest thing is a lot of students are offloading their thinking to AI. And so I feel like there should be some kind of ban instituted. Maybe all exams go back to in-person essay writing, things like that, or maybe even live debates as a form of testing to test to see if students are actually thinking and engaging with the subjects. Because oftentimes my teacher friends will say, oh yeah, they'll ask a question and then they'll be on their phones kind of asking what they should say.
Yeah, this was a few months ago. I had a conversation with a professor at a university, and he was complaining of the same thing. Like, he knows that they're using AI, etc. And I thought, I actually challenged him, and I said, maybe you need to think of a more creative format where your students have to think there in the moment.
Yeah.
And even if it is remote, that you can see or detect if they're like kind of typing stuff in. So maybe it should be more of this case-based learning or testing.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's possible remote, to be honest with you. There's companies that are coming out right now that can take a video of me, project a fake me, and have my fake AI speak for me, right? And so anything virtual, I think it's done. AI is all over it. I think the only thing you can't do right now is you have to be in person, face to face, breathing the same air, asking questions live, and make sure they don't have an earpiece in.
Okay. Got it. So that will give some of the online programs something to think about. But yes,
Listen, I was interviewed for an article a couple months ago. Give me your hottest take about the financial services industry and AI 10 years down the road. And my hot take is, listen, advisors, if you've transitioned to an online only practice, you should start to reconsider that. Because again, an AI avatar can be created where the only way they'll know that it's really you is if you've sat down with them before, right? And so I think we got to go back to face-to-face. Virtual is great, but it can so easily be copied. And, 10 years down the road, we're going to have AI agents that can mimic people. And so if you want to be replaced, stick to virtual only. Right. The only thing that's not replaceable, I think, at least for now, is in the physical space.
And, it really is these whole... kind of like fake avatars, etc. It is becoming a problem in financial services in particular.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And if not financial services directly, those that are like the CFO and within that whole function in terms of transferring money and having these fake board meetings where you're approving, $450 million transfer and the sort. So, definitely something financial services needs to get its hands.
Financial services, education, you got to go back into real space. Have live conversations, debates that can't be copied or faked, right? Really engage with people, and I think that's just the only way we can move on from this.
Right. Got it. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for introducing us to FinMate AI. How can we get in touch with you? You mentioned we can go to finmate.ai. What are the social media handles for the company, for yourself? We want to stay in touch.
Yep. So website is great. You can chat with us there. We have a LinkedIn page that we operate. You can email me directly, Daniel@finmate.ai.
All right. Perfect. Well, we look forward to continuing the journey with FinMate AI and going back to my futuristic question, seeing how it will continue to transform the world. So thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Okay, everyone. Next time. Until then, remember to lead with AI. Thanks for tuning in to Lead with AI. I'll see you next time as we continue exploring the cutting-edge innovations shaping AI across the public and private sectors. Until then, keep leading with AI.